Hey everybody.
Welcome back to What's Up Watchtower. So there's a few videos coming out at this summer's regional convention that we found of note that affected us in different ways, and we're going to be talking about one of those tonight and probably covering some of the other ones as well, because they're just, they're just delicious. full of information that we would like to share. So this one is the Doomsday Bunker video series. Each person is revealing their own challenges that they faced before the Great Tribulation and how they prepared themselves for the Great Tribulation. And this one in particular covered a topic that I had already written about before I saw it. And it was, it's just perfect. It's perfect for the topic that I wanted to cover. So let's get into it. It's the one, avoid what erodes loyalty, bad associations. Yeah, so let's just start the video.
We've been talking about times when our loyalty has been put to the test. And not to put you on the spot, but didn't you have an experience?
Mm-hmm. I did, and I don't mind sharing. It was when I was at that office job in the city.
That office job in the city.
Oh, the city.
It was just coffee as usual.
Karen, we're making some coffee. Did you want some?
Oh, I love it. The good stuff, right?
Oh, yes.
Thanks. Boy, I can smell it.
And somebody brought treats.
It's wonderful, thank you.
Yeah. So how are things going?
But this time she started telling me about her problems at home.
So John, he got a text message from his ex-girlfriend.
No, that must be very hard for you.
Yeah, it is.
There are some things in the Bible that have helped me in my marriage that I would love to show you.
All right, so her coworker started telling her about her personal problems. It wasn't business as usual or just business. For shame, the coworker actually has a personal life. So, as a witness, we are, taught to always seek an opportunity to be able to give a witness. So she found the opportunity here to be able to share her beliefs in order to help this woman.
It's not just, to me, it's not just the opportunity as well, but as a Jehovah's Witness in a group of worldly people, most likely if you're working outside your home or something like that, you're working with worldly people. So it's almost like the default thing they can talk to. The woman says, I've been having some problems. The witness goes, Bible.
Problems? I've got the answers.
Yeah, so that's just something that I notice in these videos as well. I've never really worked in a corporate type of environment, in an office type environment. I've never worked with a lot of people like you have in that type of environment. But I just noticed how Jehovah's Witnesses deal with the general public or other people that I've noticed. And sometimes it seems like it's awkward, like they don't know what to say. And the Bible is certainly something they can go to.
Yeah.
I was excited about the chance to give a witness.
Hey, good morning. Hey, good morning.
Is that for me?
I know how you like it.
Ooh, thank you. From time to time we talked, kept the conversations brief, and that was it.
Hey!
But over time, the conversations grew.
So this is like a totally normal office environment. Actually, this seems like a really nice office environment where all the ladies are, excited to see each other and sit and have a chat and have some coffee together. Not all offices are that nice, I can tell you that much. So, she's starting to fall in and enjoy these little conversations that she has. And these are coffee breaks. They're no more than 15 minutes if you work in a corporate office. They're only about 10 to 15 minutes. But apparently this is enough to be considered bad associations, as you will see.
And husbands and family were often the hot topic. And everyone had a viewpoint.
If I may, there's some things in the scriptures that I think...
She's got her Bible. She wants to show them things in the scriptures. buzzkill for the coffee break.
If that was the only table in the lunchroom, I'd eat lunch in my car.
Things in the scriptures that I think.
I still thought I could give a witness and actually teach them something about Jehovah.
No, honey, it doesn't work like that.
Nobody ever would say that to you. People are respectful. I mean, people are not going to poo-poo the Bible, for sure. I never had any, and I did witness. Obviously, I did take opportunities to witness when it was appropriate in the work environment. Nobody's going to say that to you. That's not realistic. They may be thinking it, but they're not going to say it.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, Karen. Too much information, right? With a husband.
But in reality, I was the one being taught. And I was a quick learner. I was sure their thinking wasn't rubbing off on me. Until one day when Robert called. The girls knew that Robert and I had had a small disagreement that morning. And he was calling to apologize. Although some of it was my fault.
Karen, did you want to get a little coffee?
No, it's him. If you don't want to talk to him now, then don't. Besides, it sounds like he could use a little silent treatment.
Or maybe it's just not appropriate to be taking a phone call from your husband to discuss a fight that you had in the morning while you're working.
I couldn't believe the effect the association was having on my attitude and my marriage.
But what could you do? You worked with them every day, and you were able to give a witness sometimes.
But I had let it turn into regular, unnecessary association that was spoiling my useful habits.
Regular association, 15 minutes a day, bad association. Ugh.
And that had to change. I started keeping things friendly but professional. I was more cautious, as I would be if they had invited me out, or if a male coworker had invited me to join him for a break.
I can't even imagine what her coworkers must have been thinking. She used to sit with us. What did we do? How have we offended her?
So did that work?
It did, and I was so relieved.
And so was I.
The husband was so relieved that she stopped talking about anything personal with her coworkers.
He probably wasn't looking too good on that side. I don't know.
I got me a posse that's backing up, my thinking that you were being a jerk. He's like, I don't want her talking to those people.
Yeah.
Jehovah gave us the good morals and habits that we have. Exposing myself to bad association was being disloyal to him. When I think how far we are now into the...
Somebody's here.
It's the secret knock.
Let me go get it.
Okay.
How's it out there? It's not good. It won't be long, maybe an hour. Is Kevin with you?
No, Kevin thinks it's crap.
Susan, we love you.
Oh, Susan Gaskin, you kill us. You're so awesome.
He said he's not coming. That he doesn't want to have anything to do with us anymore.
How sad. Now, this far into the Great Tribulation.
The big reveal. They saved it until this video.
Move that bus! It's a show, they do the giant reveal, the house makeover, they have a bus parked in front of the house.
Okay.
Oh well.
Alright, so, Alright, so this sort of went hand in hand with another topic that I had written down for us to talk about. And after we were first married, probably about 9 months after we were first married, I started working at an office with 70 to 80 employees. And it was, a really good job. And I really liked the people that I worked with. But I couldn't help but just feel just so isolated and alone because, we're supposed to keep separate. We weren't supposed to have these kinds of friendly relationships with our coworkers. But by the same token, we talked about when we were waking up and how he was in a very cold congregation. So I didn't feel like I had any support in the congregation, no support, at work, and it was just a completely miserable time. The 5 years that I worked at this office, and not for any of my coworkers because they were all great, but it was how I felt, and just feeling so separate, and that I had to be different, and that I couldn't interact with them on a personal level. And when I did, go out to happy hour, a couple times I went out with them, and I felt guilty about it, and like, I'm not supposed to be doing this, and it's not setting a good example for what a Jehovah's Witness is supposed to be. And this just led to a worsening of my depression. And the thing that I didn't realize until just a few years ago, really, was that, witnesses don't see people as just people. Mm-hmm. They see them as people who are going to die unless they can teach them the truth. Right?
I mean, it's almost like they just see them as numbers, to tell you the truth. They are part of the billions that are going to die. And, it's hard to, it makes it impossible to feel any type of real emotions or real feelings about people when you believe that what they think is wrong, that they're insincere, that they're probably wicked. So those type of things, it's all a desensitization.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's right.
Of the human spirit.
Yeah, a fellow feeling towards people. And you just saw people, their problems, you really were judgmental because their problems, if they talked about their marriage problems or whatever, all you could think about was tick, 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 tick. If I could witness to them about this, that could help them with their marriage problems. And they're having these problems because of their worldly thinking, because they don't know what God's word says. And I need to try to figure out a way that I can work that into this conversation. So you're just not really seeing people as people.
And you're not listening to what they're saying either. Yeah. You're busy thinking of a retort. You're busy thinking of a scripture in your head that you could apply to their situation. But you're not hearing what they say.
It also makes for, I have noticed with witnesses being very awkward in situations where when they're dealing with a worldly person, if they're not witnessing to them or conducting a Bible study with them, they're very awkward with non-witnesses. They don't know how to interact. I don't know if any of you had noticed this, but it's something I've definitely noticed.
Well, we've also talked about it before. We've noticed that witnesses are out of touch with pop culture. They're out of touch with, and not necessarily like news things, because I know a lot of people who follow the news, especially the older ones. But if there was a funny thing that happened on the internet somewhere that pretty much everyone knew about, something that had gone viral, a witness for example, they wouldn't know about it. They wouldn't have seen it.
Maybe not. I mean, maybe more now so than
I guess what I'm trying to
before.
say is that the witnesses have lived such a sheltered existence compared to the rest of society that I can understand why in many ways they don't feel like they have a lot to offer to a conversation because they don't know anything about certain things or can't relate to certain problems people are having. But that's where the Christ-likeness comes in. That's where that should come in, where instead of being judgmental about the problems people are going in or thinking that they brought it upon themselves by their evil living, I mean, those type of things, it can really teach you to make judgments about people. Like you said, you're a very judgmental person and not even knowing it, not even realizing that you're doing it.
Yeah, I didn't realize how judgmental I was. And one thing that my manager remarked to me one time, and I was really blown away because I knew I was struggling with depression, but I've always been the type of person to put on a happy face, and put on a mask and, don't let the world see that you're depressed and
turn it off.
Like a light switch, just turn it off. All right, if you don't know what we're talking about, that's from the Book of Mormon musical, which we could definitely relate to also. We love that musical. But anyways, so she said to me one day, Robin, you just look so sad all the time. And I was really shocked that she picked up on that because I've, always been the type of person to make a joke and, be goofy and silly and giggle and things. And nobody had ever noticed that about me before. And that really blew me away that she could see that. So, when I left the organization and I re-enrolled in school, I just started to see people as people, and no matter what their ethnicity, and by the way, yes, some of the most bigoted people I've known have been Jehovah's Witnesses, believe it or not. No matter what their background was, no matter what their sexual orientation was, I became open to just getting to know people as individuals and hearing, their stories. And I've learned and grown so much from having these friendships in my life. And as a result now, in the workplace that I am now, I feel very comfortable with myself. I feel very comfortable with my coworkers. I love them a lot. They all mean a lot to me, each one of them in different ways. And it's a totally different experience now, being in the workplace with the way that I feel about people now.
Right. And it's a very limiting way to live your life as a Jehovah's Witness. It's a very limited way of thinking. And as you were just saying that, I'm just thinking of something that I had mentioned in a previous video, but the witnesses, for the most part, we know they all believe the same and are supposed to believe the same, have the same basic values.
They have to be unified.
The same basic dress code, the same. So I guess all this, with all the similarities, wouldn't it be really boring if everyone you ever spoke to liked the same things as you and was into the same type of music and had the same exact opinions on current events? And I mean, there would be no reason to talk to anyone about anything. I mean, the diversity that we have with all the people that we run into on a day-to-day basis, it provides interesting topics to just have interactions with people and talk to them. You don't have to have the goal of making a disciple to talk to someone.
It takes pressure off. I don't feel any pressure now when I'm talking to people who are, have very different opinions as mine. I can listen respectfully and sometimes I can come to agree with them about something that I wouldn't have expected because they show me a different point of view on how to look at something.
Yeah, I just feel like the world is such a varied place, and it seems such a shame to only surround yourself. That's like, of all the colors in the world, you're only going to surround yourself with blue. You're going to paint your house blue, you're going to have a blue car, you're going to wear blue clothes, you're going to eat blueberries for dinner. How boring would that be? But yet, when you're a Jehovah's Witness, you're really surrounded by one thing. And
Vanilla.
Vanilla. And it's just no way to live. Regardless of what your views are on God and religion and the Bible and all that, it doesn't matter. There's so much more to life than the Bible. And if you love the Bible, that's great. I'm sure you would agree with me. There's more to life than just the Bible. And being a Jehovah's Witness, you're not exposed to that. So, you know, it's really a sheltered existence. And being around a variety of people, I think, is great for everyone.
Yeah. Well, it's helped me to grow as a human being, and you too. And you know, we're very grateful that, you know, we now have a diversity of friends and people that are in our lives.
Yep.
So we covered that video. I'm sure that we are going to cover other videos that are coming out at the convention, because we have a lot of thoughts on those as well.
Yeah.
And so until next time.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.